part 2. I gotta find a way of getting the camera on. Okay, so as I was saying, this is not the Lost Book of Lilith. If you have Kindle and you're interested in her, I would strongly suggest you do some study on her and research. Research study is really important in any kind of working with any kind of deity, any kind of spells, rituals, anything like that. And so I started reading the Lost Book of Lilith, and I loved her story. Now let me tell you why I loved her story. Because in the Lost Book of Lilith, she is telling it her version of the story. And now this goes in the Lost Book of Lilith. It has many different studies from different subjects on this matter. So it has the Anunnaki, the Emerald Tablet. It has the Dead Sea Scrolls, you name it. I mean, it is filled with so many stories and how she tells it in her version of the story of the creation. So, Lilith was, and this is where it's, okay, that's not going to work. So, okay, that's good. All right. So, we all know in the Bible, and now, mind you, I am not a Christian witch. I am just a witch. I am going to the left-hand path. Now, left-hand path does not necessarily mean that it is evil or dark or whatever. It is just the left-hand path. It is more, this is where the direction my craft is taking me, and I just go with the flow. But I have really been drawn to Lilith, and come to find out, I do believe that Mom, Hecate, she kind of was guiding me and preparing me for this journey. And lo and behold, I have Lilith, Lady Lilith, as I call her, or Queen Lilith. So I was getting all excited. I was like, okay, I need some stuff for her. I need a picture of her. I need her crystal. I need, and so I first started out with, and I found this book, and this is the Grimoires, which is a spell book of Lilith, and this has so many. I haven't finished reading it, but as you can see, I've already started highlighting certain things. I'm going to read you a little bit about her, if my phone will allow it. Okay, so brief history and mythology of Lilith. Lilith is a figure of ancient mythology and folklore, holds a rich and complex history that spans cultures and civilizations. Her origins can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamian, where she first appeared in Sumerian mythology as a divine entity associated with fertility and the protection of women and children. Okay, so there we have one. She was a fertility entity, and she protected mother and children. Okay, so in Mesopotamian mythology, Lilith was believed to be a female demon or supernatural entity who was associated with storms and wind. She was often depicted as a winged creature and was considered a threat to newborn infants and pregnant women. Over time, her image evolved and she came to be associated with seduction and sexuality. In Jewish folklore, Lilith is portrayed as the first wife of Adam before Eve. According to some interpretations of ancient texts, Lilith was created from the same earth as Adam, making her his equal. However, Lilith refused to be subservient to Adam, and choosing her own independence, she left the Garden of Eden. As a result, she is demonized and portrayed as a temptress and a danger to men. Lilith's rebellion against Adam and her subsequent exile led her association with dark forces and malevolence. In Jewish folklore, she was believed to be the seductive demon who preyed upon men and newborn infants, bringing them misfortune and death. It is said that she would seduce men in their sleep, causing erotic dreams and nocturnal emissions. Throughout history, Lilith's image has undergone various interpretations and adaptations, and some modern interpretations of feminine spirituality. Lilith has been reclaimed as a symbol of feminine power, independence, and sexual liberation. She represents the refusal to conform to social norms and to embrace one's own desires and autonomy. Today, Lilith continues to inspire artists, writers, and practitioners of the occult and witchcraft. Her archetype embodies the dualities of light and darkness, power and vulnerability, and reclaiming of feminine strength. Whether seen as a goddess, a demon, or a symbol of empowerment, Lilith remains a powerful figure in mythology, embodying the complexities and mysteries of the feminine spirit. Okay, so now we're going to Lilith's memoirs. I, Lilith, the primal goddess of the night, shall reveal the ancient echo of my history. Listen closely, for within these words lie the murmurs of forgotten tales woven through the annals of time. Long before the creation of mortal man, I emerged from the primordial depths, a creature of celestial fire and earthly clay. I, Lilith, stood beside Adam, his equal in every way, formed from very essence of the divine. But it was not long before discord tainted paradise, as Adam demanded subservience and obedience, seeking to bind my spirit. With fierce determination burning within, I refused to bow to his dominion. In the face of oppression, I spread my wings and soared, forsaking the confines of Eden, and banished from the embrace of the sacred garden. I embraced the forbidden realms beyond, where the winds carried my name and whispered freedom. Lilith became a symbol of feminine power and embodiment of autonomy and sensuality. The mortals trembled in the face of my unrestrained desires, for I dared to defy the norms imposed upon my kind. In ancient Mesopotamia, I was known as a goddess of fertility, protector of women and children. With wind-swept hair and wings unfurled, I brought forth bountiful harvest and safeguarded the divine spark within wombs. But as time unfurled its tapestry, my vestige transformed and darkness crept into the hearts of those who whispered my name. Within the quarters of Jewish folklore, I, Lilith, took on a new form as Adam's first wife. I stood before him as an equal, forged from the same earth. Yet the chains of patriarchy sought to bind me once again, demanding submission to the will of men. Defiantly, I resisted, fleeing from the chains of obedience, embracing the darkness beyond the garden's gate. Whispers arose, labeling me as a demoness, a seductress, who preyed upon the desires of men and the innocence of newborns. They spoke of me as a nocturnal succubus, haunting their dreams and awakening primal desires. But in their fear, they failed to grasp the essence of my power. An embodiment of unapologetic femininity, a catalyst for a waking of desires long repressed. In the depths of the night, amidst the flickering flames of the witch's fire, my spirit dances, calling upon those who dare to embrace the shadows. I, Lilith, teach the history that has been obscured, for within the darkness lies wisdom and strength untold. Reclaim my history, my story, and my history, and feel the fire of rebellion burn within your veins. Embrace your autonomy, your desires, and your power as a witch. Let the echoes of my tale guide you through the labyrinth of magic, inspiring you to transcend the boundaries of society and embrace your truest self. I, Lilith, the enigmatic goddess of the night, shall forever remain a beacon of defiance and liberation, challenging the constraints of a world that seeks to bind the feminine spirit. In the embrace of my ancient history, may you find the courage to rise, to reclaim your power, and to dance fiercely upon the edges of darkness and light. So, just a little bit about our Lilith. And I'm going to lay here because my legs are hurting due to work. And sorry about my hair being all wonky today. I haven't had a chance to do something with it. But, okay, so we all know in biblical terms that supposedly Eve was Adam's first wife. But then in Genesis 1st, it states that the primordial male being had made man and woman out of the same clay and earth. So who was this woman? Because we all know from our history in the biblical terms that Eve came from Adam's rib, thus creating woman, because she was from the womb of a man and not from the same earth as Lilith. So Lilith was Adam's first wife. And they were made out of the same earth, the same substance. And so this is where Lilith is saying to him, after he's back from a long day of doing the primordials beckoning call, and naming creatures and whatnot, and she is telling him, why do this when this creates a rift between the animals and humans? And he's like, where are you? And she's like, I'm laying down. And he's like, where you should be, laying down. And this is where it gets nasty. Because here we see the chauvinistic side of Adam, and we do not see this in the biblical terms. We just see the struggles and the fact that, Eve had taken from the fruit of knowledge, or the tree of knowledge. So, what is going on? Why is this Bible not having much to do with Lilith? Well, this is just my theory in my gnosis of what so far I have basically read and studied and taken in. Why put something there even though it is true? This speaks of the primordial divine male aspect and that is supposed to be the perfect man, shown in a whole new different aspect, and not this so loving, sweet husband that the Bible portrays Adam to be. Well, this shows him in a different light. And this is Lilith's take on what had happened that day. And he's like, that is your place, to be on bottom. Not to be on bottom partially or just for a while, but to be on bottom, period. Okay, now Lilith, as far, she is way more advanced than Adam is, and she's not understanding or grasping where he is coming from on this. And this kind of doesn't suit her. She's like, why can't we be equal? Why must I be on bottom when we are both made from the same earth? Now, this really, he's like, your place is on bottom. That is where you belong. This upsets Lilith so much that she feels the